stock market morning prep video for Wednesday, June the 4th. Well, the markets continue to consolidate here at the upper end of the range. We did have a little bit of red across the board. Dow Jones down 21, Nasdaq down 3, S&P basically flat, and Russell down 2.5, almost 3 points. Very, very quiet trading. But I will tell you, this is getting very interesting. You can see here in the 5-minute SPY chart, which is the tracking ETF of the S&P 500. You got to see the games that the government is playing. Is just absolutely comical. We had ISM Manufacturing come out. They changed the numbers twice. They readjusted them. We showed a little bit of contraction, and all of a sudden, the market sold off. And then they said, "No, wait a minute. No, here's the real number." Then they did it again. "Oh, no, this is the real number." It's just absolutely comical. Rallied the market up and basically stayed there pretty much all day. Now, remember, stocks in general, lots of stocks are not moving. They are just not moving with the index, which tells me that the bigger player, if there is a bigger player out there at the moment, are buying just the ETFs. And you can see it by, you look at Twitter, did nothing. Basically rallied up a little bit in the morning around 9:30, which is right about here. Right in here, and did nothing all day. And then you look at something like a Facebook, did absolutely nothing. Same thing, if anything, sold off at the end of the day. So this is the type of movement that a lot of stocks are doing. They're just not moving. They move for the first 15 minutes, and then pretty much they either fade or they just kind of stagnate and stay in a channel all day. So very tough environment at the moment, but I do think that the markets are going to be picking up very soon. And it looks like that they're waiting for the non-farm payroll numbers to come out on Friday. It's really the only guess that I could see. Markets refuse to sell off. We're basically down very little at this moment. It's absolutely incredible how the markets continue to just be well bid up with no sellers around, which absolutely scares me. Where we're totally one-sided with this market. When the button hits and everybody wants to get out, it's just going to be a waterfall sell-off, which is really not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a nice constructive move, a nice little correction, controlled selling. But this is what scares me here, okay? And when you can't find any good ideas at the moment, and it's going to come, you run into these cycles where the markets actually do nothing and they stay stagnant, and all you see is the ETFs move up. We've seen this before. And when the markets are at these extensions, double extensions, you have to be leery that the markets are ready for a pullback, and that risk is to the downside. Okay, so let's just go into stocks. I'm making this really, really simple because I'm not going to sugarcoat everything. There's nothing different than my videos for the last week, actually. But you see, we're at these extensions here. We have the ES, which still made its high of 1924.25. We're way away from the 20-day moving average. And when you get this far away, you're looking for a pullback, at least an orderly pullback to that moving average. You can see how grossly overbought we are in the RSI and the stochastics. And again, moving on low volume, which tells me that there is an issue with this rally. Same thing with the diamonds. You can see here we rallied up for 9 straight days. We did pull back a little bit, but very nominal pullback. We're still not even to the 8, so something again to think about. Transports did give a little bit of a pullback yesterday, but again, we had some intermarket divergence with the transports weak here, and you can see the distribution selling, and markets refuse to really could care less. So that to me is a big, big, big warning sign. Now you have the transports, and again, this is just one day. I'm not saying that we're starting to roll over, but again, I think this is unsustainable. I think the transports moves at least to the 20-day moving average at one point in time. And I do think that, believe it or not, I think today and tomorrow is going to be really, really light, and Friday is going to be the big day where the markets are either going to explode again to the upside or they're going to pull back in again. So, and I do think that's really what they're waiting for. We have 2 more IWMs. Really doesn't look great to me, if you could see here. We do have a trend line, little bit of resistance here, but to me that looks like a bull flag with the flagpole coming in right like this. If I can just draw it. So that is a bullish setup. We did break this bearish symmetry, which I've drawn for you already numerous times. But again, still making low lows, lower highs. The chart isn't anything but bullish. I mean, it is a little bit right now, but it's going to need to really take this high out in order for it to sustain or at least to alleviate some downside pressure. But again, look, no volume. Okay. Lastly is the Qs. Double top here in the Qs, made all-time highs 91.45, and we do have a little bit of pressure coming in with with Apple and some of the high beta names yesterday. But remember, if the bonds are still well bid, and again, it's really about the yen. The yen actually started weakening because of Bank of Japan talking down their currency, as you remember last week. I mentioned to you, so the market's got a little bit of a bid tone to it. But really, that's only thing. I believe that's the only thing that's happening right now. Having the markets at these levels, so just use a little caution. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The market is what it is at the moment. Try to look for stocks in bases that at least have pulled back and that work in their own bases to actually regain some strength to the upside. And that's what I'm looking for. Something like a Twitter, a Facebook. Those are something like that. If you could just identify a chart that I just showed you, something what you want to look for with some moves high. But remember, when you have something like that that's been beat up and battered, it does take a little bit of movement before. You might have to try it a couple times, day trades, before it starts to move in your favor again, okay? Use caution, guys, extreme caution, and please use your stops. We'll have another update. Hopefully the markets start to move again today. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.